Hi, today I will be presenting my analysis on what affects how much Canadian households are able to save each year. By using real data from Statistics Canada, I wanted to understand which factors help people save money, especially during a time when the cost of living in Canada is rising and many people are worried about their financial stability. This project allowed me to explore how income and spending patterns connect to savings. Okay, so for this project, my dependent variable is household net savings, which means how much Canadian households save after spending on living costs and necessities. I placed this on the vertical axis in my scatter plots because it's the main outcome and I wanted to measure it against other variables. I chose this variable because it's a clear indicator of financial health and stability for Canadians. I chose two independent variables to compare with household net savings. So I chose household disposable income and household consumption expenditure. So disposable income is the amount people have left after their taxes to either spend or save, and it is important because its higher income can allow people to save money if they manage their spending. And then household consumption is also important because if people spend more, there may be less to save. To better understand each variable, I created histograms and box plots to visualize their distributions and calculated the mean, median, and standard deviation for each over the 11 years. This helped me see how the data is spread out and if there are any years that stand out as outliers. So the mean shows the average value over time, the median shows the middle value, and the standard deviation shows how much the values vary. For example, for the net savings, I noticed that some years with higher savings values pulled the mean up, showing a slightly right skewed distribution. These visual tools help me describe and compare the variables clearly. So this is one of the scatter plots. I created two to visualize the relationships between my dependent and independent variable. In the first scatter plot comparing net savings to disposable income, I found a moderate positive correlation, meaning as disposable income increases, net saving also tends to increase. So the slope of the line shows how much savings increase with each increase in income, while the y-intercept represents the estimated savings if disposable income were zero. So in the second scatter plot with consumption, the correlation was weaker, showing that while spending patterns connect to savings, they are not as strong predictors as income. To improve the accuracy of my analysis, I used residual plots to identify the outliers, focusing on the year that had the largest, and therefore the greatest impact on the model. I calculated the z-score to determine how far this point was from the mean in terms of standard deviations and found its percentile with a normal distribution. Removing this point was likely from 2020 during COVID-19 when savings behavior was unusual. So this allowed me to recalculate the slope, intercept, and correlation. I noticed that removing this outlier strengthened the correlation in my disposable income model, showing a clearer relationship between income and savings. I classified the correlations in my analysis to better understand the type of relationships between the variables. The correlation between net savings and disposable income is a cause and effect relationship because higher incomes allow people to save more if they control their spending. For net savings and consumptions, I classified the relationship as a common cause, as both are influenced by income and overall economic conditions. So in my conclusion, my analysis showed the household disposable income is a strong predictor of household net savings, while consumption has a weaker but still noticeable connection to savings behavior. Removing outliers such as extreme years helped me see clearer patterns in the data, confirming the sudden economic events like COVID-19 pandemic can greatly impact saving trends. Overall, this project demonstrated that while spending habits matter, having a higher income is the biggest factor that helps Canadians save more money.